So, against my better judgment, I decided to record a video on both my Google Glass as well as my iPhone and reflect on thoughts as I'm feeling right now, reflecting back on 2013. Um, it's a bizarre video because I'm saying this. I have no idea who's ever going to watch this or if it's going to be worthy of even watching. So forgive me if I babble about a variety of things that just happen to come to mind at this particular moment. Just reflecting back, it's been a massive year for me personally, as well as it's hard to take me seriously looking at this. Can understand why everyone looks at me crazy. I'm going to turn this off. Um, so, um, looking back, it was a really big year for us. Um, and as a company, as a couple, as a family, first and foremost, you know, I, I have to say that the reality of the possibility of almost losing one of our dogs has been overwhelming. Sickness and family is just hard to deal with, and my prayers and thoughts are going out to Margot, who we almost lost in like September from some bizarre illness, and she it seems like she's doing better, although not all better. As today she has a tumor of some sort under her eye. So, if I were to think about last year, I would hope that she gets better and pray for her to get better, which is tough because I'm kind of an atheist. But I can still hope and spend all sorts of money and time in science and medicine, and she's getting great veterinarian care. So, I told you I'd babble. Um, but the highlights of this year, I think, were, and the big achievement this year was getting, I think, my organization to adopt a corporate culture and understand what is important as a company and as a culture and why we do things and be more clear and all those things. Honestly, it did not come intuitively to me. Fire looks cool. um, in learning how to run a business. So it's weird because you read all these stories or hear all these stories about entrepreneurs who get to a certain point and fail. They just, business is, running a business is a lot different than starting a business and coming up with an idea. That could not be more true. um, it's reflecting back on learning what it takes to run an organization of more than a few people is drastically harder than I ever would have imagined. And so, in any event, learning how to do that and what it takes to do that has been one of the most rewarding things I've ever done, and draining, and all knowing that it's not even close to being done. It's just being started. So, trying to really embrace that. Every great business leader that you encounter, in my mind, has mastered getting people to do stuff for them and keeping them motivated and creative and happy, and what it takes to do those sorts of things. And it's not just a matter of saying, do it. You have to create an environment that encourages it, pay a decent wage, and make them happy. And those things, putting the puzzle of human beings together is the most complicated thing I've ever tried to do, and I don't claim to be an expert by any means. So that would be, I guess, the number two thing, after Margot's health and that whole issue. And this isn't intended to be a top 10, although I may go there. Who knows? Um, uh, fun to live with all the
No.
time. So the number three thing, yeah, on New Year's Eve, this is how I'm putting her in the mood. It's not working for me, by the way. So number three, and I'll be brief now because my marriage will be over otherwise. I think the whole construction of the apartment above our unit. I mean, that is a massive undertaking. It's like doing another business. I mean, there's so much involved and so many decisions and designs and review and management, but it's ultimately going to be so cool, and I think working towards that. So those are the three overriding themes of this year. Curious what your thoughts are, and if you have any questions or concerns or advice, bring it on. I appreciate it. And I'm going to give the fourth, and that is understanding, and then I'm going to sign off, understanding the meaning of planning and accountability and project management and clarity. Clarity, speaking with clarity, is there's so many ambiguous things that you do in life, and for me, what I've learned is if you can speak with more clarity, everyone's happier. So in any event, Happy New Year to everyone. If I do another recording, I'll probably end up losing my wife. So this will be it for tonight.